Hello, everyone. This is Angie Tumlinson, and I wanted to come today and talk about what is it about the laws that are so important to know. Well, in order to begin to understand the laws, what I started to figure out as I was talking to people is you've got to understand what paradigms are, or some people call it, systems or ways that we do things, habits that we have. Really, a paradigm is our habitual way of doing things. It's a multitude of habits and behaviors. If you think about an idea of, a cone, a cone, think about a cone, and instead of seeing like a solid cone, think of strings that are coming down from the cone. You've seen pieces of artwork where there's these strings, and it gives you this e- e- illusion that there is a cone there. And if one of those strings breaks, you know what? You could see the cone still. In your imagination, you could see the cone, but at the same time, you're constantly worried about that string not being there. You might not be worried about it, but your attention would go, hey, that's missing there. And each of those strings represents parts of what a paradigm is. A paradigm is. So when you feel something not quite right, there's a habit or behavior or an idea that is missing. Now, if you take the top of that cone and you put it in towards your heart, and you put that cone in your heart and you think about the cone going out, well, this is energy of how things travel out and ideas can come back to you. So you could put out actually if a string is broken or an idea or something that you're trying to get after doesn't work, you can actually put what I call a phantom string out. So you can put out, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but you can put this string out and the universe will respond back and give you the answer. And sometimes it'll be like, oh, I get the answer. And all of a sudden your cone is complete again. And so the reason that we are unable sometimes to allow that to happen, to get answers back, is because we say, no, it has to be solved this way. And the reason we feel that way is because we have a habit of it being solved that way. And so using the laws sometimes neutralizes the habit so that you can experience something more. Let me give you an example. I grew up in a time where we had rotary phones. Do you know what a rotary phone is? You stick your finger in and you dial the phone. That's where we get the idea, can you dial the number? And so I grew up where the rotary phone was attached to the wall. It was attached to the wall. So you could only talk on the phone as far as the cord from the receiver would allow you to do that. And so I grew up with that idea. And so if I kept living in that habit or that paradigm, you know what? Even though I have a cell phone, I might be still thinking I have to use a rotary dial to do it. And so this is why understanding what habits and behaviors are and understanding that we have to outgrow those habits and behaviors, those paradigms. I had a paradigm or a belief that a phone worked only this one way, attached to the wall with a rotary dial and a receiver. And today, you know what? People walk around with little mini computers almost in their hands that it has a cell phone and a camera and all kinds of things in there. And so if you think about it, we're always for expansion and fuller expression. And so the natural laws follow us. And if we can learn the principle of the natural laws, we can apply it to anything in our life rather than relying on the old habit. I tell people many times, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you want, if you think about it out here, I'm here and this is what I want. And the fastest way to get there is a straight line. So this is where I am, this is what I want. The answer always precedes the question that you have about it. You have to have an answer before you'll ask a question. There's something that you want and all of a sudden a question comes up. Why do you think that question comes up? It comes up because you're not defending the new idea, you're defending the old paradigm. You're used to the habit or behavior or paradigm over here. And so in evolving yourself and you say I want this now, we tend to say, this won't match this old idea over here. So we've got to learn to let go of that. So rather than falling in love with the method that I did, I try and use the principle, which is natural laws, creating a cause and an effect. I know how to create this cause and effect to get this result. Now I want to learn or evolve into creating a new cause to get the effect that I see in my imagination. So, this is why knowing the difference between a principle and a method. So, a principle, I'll give you an idea. A principle might be, I want to feed the baby. Simple. I want to feed the baby. The method may be breastfeeding, it might be Palbum, it might be bottle formula. There's all kinds of ways to do it. There's neither right or wrong. They all work. Some of them have different results, but they all work. And so sometimes when people draw the line in the sand and say, this is the only way that you can do it, well, that's not true. You're talking about a method. The principle is the baby must be fed. That doesn't go away. That's how it is with natural laws. Natural laws let us understand the principle of something, and then the method in which we apply it. This is where we can release old habits, old ideas, and embrace new ones by following the law rather than the paradigm. Does that make sense? So, just a little hint on how really the laws are like a principle, a natural principle that works. And paradigms are really based on a method, and a lot of that technology is outdated. And so that's how you always know if the law is working or if it's really a method. If the method gets outdated, then you know that was never a principle. The meaning behind it followed a principle, but sometimes we lose the idea of the principle. So until next week, we are talking about natural laws, and I hope this gives you a little shot into looking into the difference between the laws and a paradigm or the way that we've always done it. All right, take care until we talk next time. Bye.